Hi guys, I am Crystal Sky, and today we're going to talk about what I got at the book sale. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is the pack that I got. This is a blending trio. I was really excited to pick these up. Oh, come on. It says on the sticker 30th anniversary. I'm not quite sure, but I think these are sketch markers. Yep, they are sketch markers. I thought the anniversary markers were only in original. But I got light blue, ice blue, and lapis lazuli, which I actually think I have phthalo blue, fluorescence blue. So those are the other blues I have. I just wanted to point that out. So I have a whole bunch of blues now to work with and see if I can blend a whole bunch of blues together. I'm really excited. I also got a blue-green, which doesn't really work in this set, but So those are all my blues now. I wanted to have, the goal here was to have a whole bunch of blue colors to blend together, because with Copics, I just have a lot of random colors that don't really blend together. I think the pinks is probably the only thing that I can blend together very well, and that's not what Copics are supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to blend them together to get shadows and stuff. So I was really excited to pick up this blending trio and add to my blue collection. Reason I picked blue, it was my favorite color. Blue is my favorite color. Okay, I also got these nibs. I got a bunch of broad nibs, and I got some super brush nibs. So we're going to be replacing my skin tone nib. I also got this in the bag here. I got black and leather. These are refills. Done. So if you don't know how to refill, we're going to do that now. So let me get some paper. This is my render sketchbook. I love drawing, doodling, and stuff in this sketchbook. With Copic markers, it takes marker really well. I would suggest getting this sketchbook. I highly recommend. So we're gonna fill the black and the leather up. First we gotta take this plastic off, which is a pain in my booty. There we go. I was trying earlier and I couldn't. All my garbage just goes behind there. I'm really messy. Twist off. Well, first you gotta... God, my Japanese has gotten a little rusty. Okay. So these are the refills. And this is the colorless blender. I don't need that. I brought that over because that was the last thing in my set. So let's take a look at the black now. You can see the nib is really strong and very dry. So what we do is we take this out, and you can see it's a little bit glittery, but it's not quite full, right? So we open both caps. This is how I fill. You don't need any of that extra stuff. Oh, it's all over the refill nib. I've never seen that before. So you just drop it. I like to have paper or something underneath it because it does go pretty fast. And you can see it soaking in there. Hold it with the brush nib down. And you just drop a little bit. It gives you a certain amount of drops that you can use for numbers. But I usually use the brush tip as a kind of indicator when it starts to turn a wettish color, and I check it from time to time on the paper, which helps a lot. And also, when your chisel nib is not taking the ink as quickly, that can also be an indicator. So let's try it. The chisel nib is not taking the ink as quickly. So let's try it here. I mean, that's way better, but it might be the nib. Let's try the chisel nib. Oh no, it's still very dry. Something's messed up with this marker. It's still very dry. So nope, not done yet. It could be seen as a waste of ink to do that, to test it like that, but I don't see it that way. Like I said, the render paper, it won't go through the render paper, so it's alright to do things on it. I'm not sure if this marker had a problem with the nib or the ink. I couldn't figure out if it was the brush tip, so I got ink for it too. You can never go wrong getting ink for your Copic markers. You just can't. Oh god, it's an alarm. This black refill is going all over the place. It's very strange. None of my refills ever do that. No idea why this one is. You can see it dripping there. Alright. Let's try it again. Now the brush tip is very wet now. It seems to be alright now. No, maybe not. It's definitely loaded with ink. It may take a second to get to the brush tip. It's definitely loaded with ink. Let's see how the chisel tip is now. It's definitely better. Alright, I'm going to let this marker sit for a little bit. Some people say you don't need to do that, but I like to have them sit for horizontally for a bit, just to let the ink run from each side. And of course, always secure your ink. You don't want it going all over the place when you don't want it to. Alright, now for the leather. Now the leather was just dry. Look at that. That is one dried out marker. It's got nothing left. Absolutely nothing. So, let's put some ink in. Now you can actually see how dry this nib is. See the white spot there? Copic marker nibs are usually white, so when they run out of ink that badly, you definitely need some ink. Now I'm hoping I don't have to replace the nib because I waited too long. And again, it got a little flick here. The refills I got from Blick, and they're a little dirty on top, which I've never seen before. Or how are we doing? Still dry. You can also feel, if you're really sensitive to weight, that the marker is lighter. I know a lot of people have said that they don't feel the difference, but I definitely do. You can't measure distance I can't measure distance no matter what I do, but I can definitely measure weight. Why can't I talk? It was fine just a second ago. So we're dripping. It is a slow process. You can get a needle to stick in there and do it faster, but I don't have that kind of money to spend, so we're just gonna slowly drip. Drip, drip, drip. Right onto this chisel nib here. You guys see any difference with the brush tip? I do not. Hope it's not the brush nib, but I got new nibs, so it should be alright. Try not to lift your refill off from the nib too quickly. It does get little splatters. Looks cool though. It looks like I'm doing some sort of graffiti art. Alright, let's see. The chisel nib is undeniably wet now. Oh. Oh. This nib might be no good now. There's definitely more ink in there, but it's not getting to the brush nib. The chisel nib's nice. Look at that. That is some nice chisel nib action. Alright. Let's see if we'll restore it a little bit more with the refill. If that doesn't work, we'll change the nib. That's why I bought nibs. One of the reasons I bought nibs. I usually like to do it this way so that I can see the brush nib. Let me see if I can just refresh the brush nib. A little dot of ink. You don't fill the marker with the brush nib, but sometimes I do splat one little dot of ink on the brush to see if that helps refresh a nib. You can also dip the nibs in alcohol. Just make sure the alcohol doesn't get in the the marker, because that'll ruin your color. It's a very dry marker. Trying to use a constant stream. Don't put too much on the chisel tip though, or it'll go everywhere. Alright, I'm gonna flip it to the other side. I like to get both sides of the chisel nib in the ink. You can also pull the nib out and fill it that way. Again, this is the way I do it. It's a lot less messy. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Filling, filling, filling. Feels a little bit more heavy. Doesn't look better on this side though. Alright, let's try it again. It feels a little bit more heavy. Got the ink just in the brush. Did I put in the brush? Let's see. It still looks... Oh, we're getting stuff now. Now, supposedly I watched a video and they said if your brush nib is softer than you think it should be, then that means you need to change it. But this brush nib feels fine. It's actually moving a little bit. Yeah, I think I might just have to change the brush. Yeah, because that is just turning white. It's not doing anything else. Oh, the chisel nib is fine. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to change the nib on this one. Da-da. Put the cap back on the refill and get the brush nibs out. I bought 1 pack of brush and 1 pack of chisel, but for the same price you only get 3 brush nibs, which, I mean, ugh. So there's a bullet on one side and a brush on the other. Try not to touch it with your fingers. Let me get, this is my rag here. It's I use it for painting sometimes. I don't really want to touch it with my fingers. So pull out the nib. Oh, yeah, this brush nib is definitely done. Oh. Ugh, pulled this out before. Darn. There we go. Yeah, that brush nib fell apart almost immediately as soon as I pulled it out. That's not good. Hold it by the brush, stick the bullet nib in, and push. And push. Okay. So now we can just do this. Brand new brush tip on this marker. We can hold it down like this and let the ink settle. I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to wait a little bit. Come back to it. See how it goes. Stand it up over here. Oop. Come on. Come on. Stand up. I know you want it. This weird video. Alright, let me get my eggshell color out. This is the other nib that, this is the other nib that I want to replace. You can see that's working alright. Actually, you know what? I might keep it on for a little bit longer. But you can see how the color has changed and how there's actually a little bead almost at the end of this nib. I don't know if you can see it or not. But that means that the nib is starting to go bad. It's not a brush nib anymore. It's got a tiny little bobble at the end. That ruins its point. But it's not actually as bad as the brown one, so I think I'm going to keep it. The brown one was worse. Now let's see if this black one got any better. Yeah, it did. No, maybe not. This nib looks awful. Look how bad this nib looks. Yeah, I'm gonna change the nib here. It doesn't look good. Again, with the pieces coming out like that. Alright. Well, my hands got all gummed up anyway. So pull. Oh, Jesus. Man. Hate this. You draw with that. Hold on. I need to get some tweezers. I hate using tweezers, but... Wow. You guys seeing this? What happened there? Do you guys see that? Oh my god, you can't see it on camera. Do you guys see? There's like a whole bunch of hair coming out. There you go. You can kind of see. Now look at that. What happened there? I have no idea what happened there. That's weird. Darn it. I didn't get a nib out. So that nib was, I don't know what happened with that nib. Grab it by the bullet side without touching it. Oh, touched the brush nib. And stick that in there good. There we go. Alright, so I got some on my hands. I have no idea what happened with that black one. That does not bode well. Cap doesn't fit on right. There we go. That marker is way messed up. Let's check the leather one. Oh, there we go. Hop. That is much better. It probably needs a little bit more of a fill, but it's coloring and it's not as inconsistent. So that needs a little bit more of a fill, but that looks good. Alright guys, I gotta go clean my hands and my tweezers here, but so that's essentially what I bought all this stuff for. I think turned out well. I have no idea what happened with this nib. Pick it up again. The bullet nib on the back seems to have haired out almost like a mold. I'm not sure if you can see it, but look, I can pick it up by it. Whee! So I don't know what happened there. That's very strange. I've never seen that happen before. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.